Jose, give you a call back. I didn't realize you called. And Barry. Cool. Okay. So right now, you should be looking at my screens. Now, I've been having internet issues all day. But anyway, I did have a good half hour to trade. And so I was able to get my goal for the day. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I gotta check the boardroom, apparently. Hold on. I don't even have Telegram open. Where is it? Right there. Let me see what's going on. I'm sure there's a reason why I'm starting this up. Hang on. It's loading it up. Boardroom. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, Dwayne's. Yes. I had the same update, Dwayne. Though you can't hear me. Okay. Well, anyway, here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down the bottom. Today is the 25th day of September, 2020. Now, today, my internet connection was really sketchy today. I had to reconnect several times, and my DOMs only worked for about a half an hour this morning. They're still not working right now. Right now, my control panel says it's 12:12, but it's really 12:17. So, give you any idea of what that was like. But we made 16 ticks in gold and 12 ticks on the ES, put us at plus 310 on the morning session. That was during the half hour that I could trade. And it started at 10:15 is when that half hour started. And on my first trade in the first minute, I made 10 ticks on gold, and that got us $200 a contract. And we took a total of 6 trades in that half an hour. So on the month now, we're at $11,033. That's over 18 trading days, averaging $612 per contract per day. Today is my 154th consecutive day of getting the goal. And on the year now, we're at $74,489. That's over 179 trading days, averaging $416 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Now, I'll go over the trade setups. But, you know, I was only able to trade for half an hour this morning because my DOMs are all messed up. But I will go over the trade setups, okay? And the ones that I took and the ones that set up. Yeah, my DOMs are still messed up right now. Okay, so we started out the day here at 9:30. Look, they just came back to life. It looks like for a minute. Nope, it's still not right. Anyway, we start out here at 12:30, and I mean at 9:30. Sorry, I was just looking over there at something else. We started out here at 9:30 this morning, and we were really choppy right in the beginning. Okay, then we started to move up, but the slingshot wasn't agreeing with any long trades until right here. There was a momentum long trade. That would have been a break-even trade for me. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes,
I'll let you know I'm logged in. Go ahead, take your time. Do what you got to do. I just want to make, because with these updates, sometimes nothing anymore. So I just want to make sure my audio.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You're good.
I know. I had the same update the other day, and it took forever, and I had complete internet breakdown today during the room. But I had a half an hour where I could actually trade. My charts were working, but my DOMs weren't, and my DOMs still aren't. But I had a half an hour where everything was working, and I made $310 a contract in that half an hour. So
good job.
Yes.
All right. Well, whenever you're done, I'll be here.
Okay. All right. Good. With a fresh update. All right. So there was a momentum long trade right here that really didn't go anywhere. That would have been break-even trade. There was another momentum long trade right there, and Then YBR trades, there was a YBR short right here that would have given about 6 or 8 ticks. Another YBR short right here, that would have been a really nice trade. Okay, and let's see, over here we had this down close right here was a shorting opportunity. Would have given some nice profit. Another one there, another one there. Then this is where I got everything working again at 10:15. And our first trade right here, we picked up 10 ticks. The next trade was a break even. The next trade was a break even, and we missed that one right there. And on this one right over here, we picked up 6 ticks to put us at plus 16 on the gold. Let's see, right here, we had bullish separation. This was a bounce off the BBC and a YBR trade. Those usually work out really well, and that was no exception. This one, YBR, bounced off the BBC, gave about 8 ticks. We missed this, then it got really choppy, and right here was a bounce off the BBC and a YBR trade that worked out. Now in here, my DOMs just weren't working. They're still not right now. But we had a bounce off the BBC right here, and it moved up. And then we're getting into the break here. Now during the break, there was a beautiful short trade right here. Okay, for that portion of the leg down. There's another one right here for that portion of the leg down. And then it flipped directions, and there was a bounce off the BBC right here for that leg up. There's a momentum trade right here for that leg up. And it's given a short right down here right now. Okay. That was gold this morning. Now the euro, we didn't trade anything on the euro, but I'll go through what's set up, okay? Okay, there was a shorting opportunity right here for that leg down. Another one right there for that leg down. Then it flipped around and gave a long right here. See that Dragonfly and Gravestone Doji back to back. That suggests change. And it did change indeed. Let's see, on the way down, we had a short from right there. And that was it for the euro on the morning session. Okay, on crude, let's see here. With crude oil, here we go. We had a shorting opportunity right there. All right, now I didn't trade crude at all today either. There was a momentum long here that would have been a break even. And that was it. There wasn't a lot of opportunity on crude today. Okay, on the ES, there was a ton of opportunity on the ES. We had 3 trades, and we took 12 ticks in that 1/2 an hour that we could trade. The first trade was right here. We picked up 8 ticks. The second one was right here. We picked up 1, and the third one was right here. We picked up 3. But if we go all the way back to the beginning, there was so much opportunity, but my DOMs weren't working. See, it started out right here, 9:35, bang. Goal for the day times 2, bang. Goal for the day times 5, bang. Goal for the day times 3. So right here, we could have 8 times the goal for the day, but my DOMs weren't working right. There's another short right here that worked out just fine. YBR short right here, that pretty much killed it. And there was a long right here. And a long right there. And there. And there. And here's a short right there. Okay, there was a short here and a short here. And now my DOMs had started working at 10:15, and they worked to about 10:45. So right here we picked up 8 ticks on that one, 1 tick on that one, 3 ticks on that one, and then my DOM stopped working again. So we had a long right there that we missed, a short here that we missed, a short here that we missed, a YBR long here to capture that, a YBR short right here to capture that, and a short there, a short there, and a short there, and a long there. I could have made so much money today if my DOMs were working correctly, but sadly they were not. Anyway, during the break, beautiful long right there, another one right there, and then flipped around and went short right there. Okay, and that was the morning session. Okay, so if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 25th day of September, 2020, and in the half an hour that the DOMs are actually working correctly, we made 16 ticks in gold and 12 ticks on the ES. Put us up $310 a contract. Today it took 1 minute and one trade to get to $100 a contract, and we took a total of 6 trades. So on the month now at $11,033. That's over 18 trading days, averaging $612 per contract per trading day. I am now on my 154th consecutive day of getting my goal, and today, well, as of today, on the year, we're up $74,489. That's over 179 trading days, averaging $416 per contract per trading day. Okay, now, if you are not part of the CFRN family and you want to become part of the CFRN family, go to EminiFuturesTrading.com, EminiFuturesTrading.com, and sign up there. Okay, become part of the CFRN family. All right, and with that, we can pass it back out to Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
I am. Believe it or not, I am actually ready.
Good.
Helter Skelter. Oh, I need to change my name. Let me do that. So I can
when I hooked everything up.
Go ahead.
I hooked everything up down here at the beach. I had the same update. It took forever. Yeah.
Well, it's been pestering me for days, and then this morning I just wasn't thinking, and I rebooted the computer, and it automatically kicked in. I knew I needed a reboot. I just didn't need a update.
Yeah, update.
Okay, so you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, guys, we're going to skip the whole intro, play the music, blah, 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 all of that today, because we're already running a wee bit late. And again, the recap, if you recap, it was
1 minute, one trade, $100 a contract.
And by any stretch, that's good bingo. Good job.
Thank you.
Okie doke. All right, for those of you that were in the workshop last night, we had a really good workshop. I'm glad for everyone that was able to be there. For those of you who were not able to be there, I see that the video has been posted in the Telegram channel. But when you have a chance over the weekend, grab that thing. It lasts about an hour and a half, and some good questions. We covered some good topics, and so I hope everyone always something good from that. And if you have any questions, if you weren't at the shop and you watched the video, if questions come to mind, send them to me until the weekend. Okay, you can ask privately or you can ask in discussion group, either way, and I will get an answer back to you sometime over the weekend. Okay, Logic 247. This is where we stand so far this week as of 12 noon Eastern on a Friday. We issued 57 total alerts. 12 of those never triggered. We are still waiting on the results of 2. So we've had 43 actionable alerts since we started Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And that's how the logic alerts work. They come out one at a time as opportunity presents itself in the logic channel. Of the 43 actionable alerts, 3 have been stopped out. That's 9%. I'm sorry, that's 7%. available alerts have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based upon the three-step methodology that I teach all of our traders about market structure. So now, that's not a typical number. Needless to say, we've averaged over the last 112 weeks, 20% being stopped out each week, which is a great number. We just had an incredibly awesome week this week. And again, there's still 2 waiting. I could still put out another alert this afternoon. So that number is subject to change, but that's what it is as of right now. Okay. Now, again, those are the logic alerts based on current price action. They are delivered via the private Telegram channel around the clock as opportunity presents itself. It could be 2 a.m., it could be 2 p.m. Whenever opportunity presents itself. You have to remember, the futures market is open from 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday night, right up until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. There's a 1-hour break each day. So we start Sunday night, and then Monday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. That ends the Monday session. And then 6 p.m. Eastern Monday night, that begins the Tuesday session. And that's how we work our way through the week. The other alerts are called the Concierge Trade Alerts. Those are issued in a little bit different format. Those come out as a static report like this at the beginning of each session. Last night I got them out at 6:35 p.m. Eastern. The numbers are good for the entire session. And as we saw when I did yesterday's recap, these numbers will often trigger multiple times during the session. A number will trade, price will either get back below the trigger or back above the trigger, do it again. I think we had some yesterday where there were 4, 5, even 6 triggers or 6 opportunities for you to be able to trade the one alert, okay? Now, the best way to handle these, I think, is as soon as this report comes out, go to your chart of the market you trade, draw a line in the sand at 32.54, draw a line in the sand at 32.30. Now, there will be logic alerts in the logic channel that walk you up to this doorstep or walk you down to this doorstep. So there is trading in between. These are the big numbers. Once we hit 32.54 and move above it, then it's pretty safe to say that we're having a bullish session. The price trades down to 32.30 and gets below it, then it's pretty safe to say that we're having a bearish session, okay? So if you want to grab a screenshot, you can do it real quick. You just grab your snipping tool, which is built into Windows 10, this little guy here. And I always keep it sleeping on my toolbar. Click New, take your cursor, left click, hold the left click, drag it down over whatever it is you're trying to capture, release the left mouse button. Now you have a portable image you can do a lot of things with. You can right click it and send it to somebody as an email. You can copy it to your clipboard. Okay, that's what I just did. I right clicked and I said copy. What does that allow me to do? Well, that allows me to go back to Telegram if I wanted to and paste that image right back in. So now I've got 2 days of the same thing. So we'll delete this one, okay? But this makes it really simple for you in the midst of a trading day. You see a trade setting up, but maybe you got some question or hesitation, or you're just not quite sure about something. Do what I just did, grab a screenshot, shoot it into the discussion group, or shoot it to me personally. I'll answer it either way, but if you shoot it into the discussion group, there are plenty of qualified traders in there who can go, no, dude, you need to wait for this to happen. Or somebody might go, yes, that's it. That's exactly what you want. And we have such a wonderful crew. I've been, over the years, been trading futures since 2005 and equities before that. Equities were even worse than futures. When it came to these message boards and these chat rooms, I never saw so much hatred and vitriol and anger and bitterness in my whole life. It was horrible. Michael and I decided that if we ever figured this thing out, we were going to build a place where people could go and not have to put up with that kind of foolishness, negativity, something that would truly be family friendly. So while God had an idea and gave it to me and Michael, it's you guys, the ones who populate that discussion group. You're the ones that make it what it is. You're the ones that keep the discussion going. You're the ones who encourage each other. Every time somebody posts a chart or says, I got my goal on the S&P, whatever the case might be. So for each and every one of you that do work hard at making this a true community, that bell's for all of you. And I thank you. And I know Michael and Valerie thanks you as well. Okay, let's look at some charts. They'll probably look funny. They usually do after a reboot. Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd call it funny, but it's not funny, ha-ha, but weird funny. On the daily chart, from the last leg up, this last leg up began on this candle right here on June 29th. Then we put in a swing high on this day here by one tick. I'm sure you remember me saying that anytime you have a new high of like one tick or even a couple ticks, be very suspicious because there's a high probability that's going to fail. Okay, that's exactly what happened. We had a swing high at 35.76. Then when the new session started, we popped up one extra tick and then the bottom fell out. Now this green line is called the BBC, which just means bull bear cross. When price and the blue line cross above the green line, the BBC, that is a bullish cross. When the red line and price cross below the green line, that's a bearish cross. After a bullish cross, we anticipate higher prices. After a bearish cross, we anticipate lower prices. And you're thinking, yeah, but that's a daily chart. I don't trade a daily chart. That's the beauty of our methodology and our strategy. Everything that I say about this daily chart translates to a 30-minute chart, to a 5-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, a range chart, a volume chart. Everything that we teach, everything that we do, everything that you'll learn from us is fluid across all markets and all time frames. Now, you may have pigeonholed yourself. I only trade the S&P. And whatever your reasons are, that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Or you might say, I only trade crude. I'm a crude trader. Okay. But I'll tell you what's going to happen over time. As you learn our methodology, as you learn the trade setup, and you start to see that it's the same trade setup every single time on that S&P that you like to trade, pretty soon your eyes are going to wander over to the Dow chart, the Russell, NQ, gold, crude, wherever your eyes wander, and you're going to go, hey, wait a minute. It does the exact same thing on that market, and that market, and that market, and that market. And then you're going to start playing with time frames because we train you on a range chart. But at some point, you're going to get curious and you're going to throw up a 5-minute chart, or like I do, my go-to chart's a 30-minute chart or an hour, and you're going to go, hey, wait a minute. Not only does this thing work on different Markets, it's the same thing no matter what time frame I put it on. Bingo. The underlying principle is the same. Doesn't matter what market, doesn't matter what time frame. So what happened here? Price, when it could go no higher, we call that resistance. When price finds resistance, its job now is to go find support. And when price pulls back to the BBC from above, we expect that to be good support. And it was. It bounced from roughly 34.17 up to 34.75. It's a nice bounce. But I want you to look over here. After we got the bullish cross, price pulled away and it pulled back to the BBC, and what did it do? It bounced. Then it pulled back to the BBC, and what did it do? Bounce. Pull back to the BBC, what did it do? Bounce. Pull back to the BBC, what did it do? Bounce. There's a theme here. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't. Now, eventually, a pullback has to not hold. Sooner or later, one of these pullbacks has to fail. Otherwise, we'd end up with just a stagnant sideways market, which is very difficult to trade, to say the least, because it doesn't create the opportunity. So after we bounced off of support at the BBC, sellers took us below the BBC. Once we're below that BBC, now instead of looking for higher prices, we're looking for lower prices. And look what we got. Lower support at the 50% fib. Now, these are fibs of just the last leg up from this low to this high. The first drop initially was to the 38, well, the first drop was to the 24% fib, where we caught that bounce. Okay, then we traveled down the next candle to the 38% fib, where we would expect a bounce, and we got a bounce from 33.48. We bounced up to 34.12. That resistance sent us looking for support again, which we found down here around the 50% Fibonacci retracement. That support sent us back to resistance. No surprise, at the BBC. The pullback holds more often than it doesn't. And so from that pullback, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row. We come almost to the 62% fib retracement. And then look at that bounce. From the 62, we bounce from, and fibs are an area, 32.18, we bounce up to 32.72. Then we have an inside day, okay? Now, in this context, an inside day says you better look for a lower day tomorrow. And sure enough, we had a lower day. And then we actually hit the 62% fib, physically touched it. It bounced us back up almost to the 50. More importantly, it bounced us up to red and falling. And that's the swing high of this session. Now, just as a pullback to the BBC from above means support, and a pull up to the BBC from below means resistance, when price moves up to red and falling from below, we're building a green candle below red and falling. What do we find? What are we finding, even as I speak? Resistance. Now, if price is able to get above red and falling and the step line and above this 50% fib retracement, we would have a counter trend window of opportunity right there. Now, there's nothing illegal, immoral, or fattening about counter trend trades. I just don't put them in the alert channel, okay? Everything you see in the alert channel is always a trend trade as determined by the 30-minute chart, okay? Now, the reason for that is as I've studied these markets over the years, I've found that based on our setup, a trend trade has a higher probability of being profitable than a counter trend trade. There are some folks who live and die for counter trend trades. That's their specialty. That's what they do. Not what we do. But once you learn how to trend trade, if you choose to dance with the counter trend, you can. Nothing wrong with that. The trend police won't come looking for you. If you choose to just stay with the trend trades, that's okay too. It's just important that you understand the difference. When we're above the BBC, just remember, this is your takeaway. Bullish cross, price is above the BBC, no matter what market or time frame, we're looking for higher prices. Price gets below the BBC, doesn't matter what market or time frame, we're looking for lower prices. So we're at a real important inflection point in the market here. If this resistance at red and falling holds, then we're going to put in another leg to the downside. If we take out this 62% fib, and if we get below these little swing lows right here, we're going to have a nice big window of opportunity, roughly 31.73 down to 31.15. Okay, just an area, but price has to accomplish some things. It has to take out the 62, it has to get below yesterday's low, has to get below these lows, and then there's nothing looking left to prevent this thing from dropping like a rock. It could be a very fast move. Now, why have I labeled this support? Because that's where the bullish cross took place. Whenever you have a bullish or bearish cross that leads to an extended move, when price gets back to that area, in this case, this area here, you're going to see support and you're going to see a nice bounce. Okay, it might even, it's such a strong support area that it could be the reversal point where the market's done with its retracement and is now starting to climb higher. Okay, so this is where we are on the daily chart. Let's drop to an S&P 30-minute chart. ES 30 minutes. Okay. Stretch it out a little bit. Now, this is our lowest weekly trading zone for the week. Obviously, this is the next to the lowest weekly trading zone for the week. The longer you're with us, the more you'll understand the importance of these zones. They're like magnets. They attract price. Only three things happen at a weekly trading zone. Consolidation is the most likely thing to happen. You're going to see that over and over and over again. Consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. Second most likely thing, consolidation. The second most likely consolidation. Here's something different. When you have a candle, now the second most likely thing is rejection. And that would be right there, where when the 30-minute candle closes, all that's left touching the zone is the wick. Price was rejected. That's the second most likely thing. The third and least likely, but it does happen, is what we call the slice. Now this candle, it's not a really good example because On a slice, it will typically slice through the candle like it's not even there, okay? And then on the next candle, it will retrace back up to the zone. Are you guys able to hear me? Mike G says he can't hear me in the trading room. Somebody in the chat box, let me know if you can hear me or not, please. Yep. Okay, Mike G, you might have to re-log in or something. Everybody else says that they can hear me okay. All right, thank you guys. And I'm sorry you had a problem there, Mike G. We are recording it, so you'll be able to get a copy of it, whatever parts you missed. So this isn't a great example of the slice, because what will typically happen on the slice is this red candle would close down here, just slice through it. And then the next candle would retrace back up to the zone that was sliced through and then continue in the direction of the slice. Okay. All right. Now, I told you there's two kinds of alerts. There are. I showed you the results of the logic alerts, the ones that come at you around the clock, 24/7. Let me do this. Starting with the most recent, okay? This was the last alert that went out. It was a hedge on gold, okay? Now, at the time this was published, there was no exit signal as of yet. I'll show you what an exit signal is in a bit. But this alert was to be short gold at 1864. Initial target, 1862. Potential support, 1857. This red X means it was stopped out, okay? We don't want to risk more than $300 per contract traded on a concierge alert or a logic 247. Now remember, the concierge are the ones that come in that static report at the beginning of the session. These are coming at you around the clock as opportunity presents itself. Here on the Russell, okay, it was good for $230 per contract traded. The idea was to sell 1444. Initial target 1442. Your goal is 2 points a day if you're looking to make $100 because you're just learning and you're learning to add more contracts with your profits. Okay, well, there's 2 points. The potential support below that, or target number 2, was 1438. The weekly trading zone below, which is always the final trade to target on a short, was 1424. We finally got an exit signal, it looks like, at 1440.4. But there was $230 per contract available in that trade. Now, again, I'm starting with, I usually start at the beginning of the week and scroll down. I'm starting with what happened today, scrolling up, okay? So here's the Dow. The idea was to be short, 26,655, down to the initial target, potential support, which would be second target, potential support, third target, final target. This one was worth $220 per contract traded, okay? Now, it ended up going all the way down to 26,464. So from 600 to 400. Valerie says, I'm not being heard now in YouTube. Well, the YouTube mic's open, so I don't know what the problem is. So I guess, Valerie, until I can get this YouTube thing figured out, we're going to have to start uploading the version that you record. I don't understand why Let me just check this. Everything's check, check, check. Just don't understand why the microphone's not coming through. We go to tools, audio. Yeah. Well, everything seems to be turned on properly. Boy, I'm glad you can hear me, but you're listening through the GoToWebinar software, right? This was somebody saying they weren't able to hear via YouTube. And it's not that big an issue. It just aggravates me. Things don't work the way they're supposed to. Now, I can almost see a reason why that might happen, but I don't think that's the reason. For that, let me try that. That right there should have done the deal. Got one to try. All right, well, I'll work with the tech of the weekend. Sorry for the inconvenience, folks. It's been quite a day. So anyway, we're recording this. And so for those of you that are here, it's always best if you can to log in through the GoToWebinar software because we never have a problem there. Okay, here was a hedge on the Dow. It was worth $220 per contract traded. And in case you don't know, a passport, a CFRN passport, which gives you access to everything, which is all of our training, all of our classes, all of our indicators, and all of these alerts that I'm showing you. A lifetime passport's $5,000. It's $49.97, but that confuses people. So I say just $5,000, but it's $4,997. That's lifetime. Never expires, never have to pay any more money. However, because the economy's been tight and we're trying to help those who really do want to become a trader, but just don't have $5,000 to shell out right now, for limited time, you can become a passport holder with all the stuff I just mentioned for $97 a week. And once you've earned enough money, you can buy the lifetime passport. Okay, that's just, we really wanted to do something to give back in some kind of way, and $97 a week, because I don't know, I mean, this alert was worth $230 per contract. This alert was worth $220 per contract. This short on the S&P was worth $187.50 per contract. That one never triggered. This was a long on the Russell from 1462 to 1463.80. So if it had gone all the way to 64, that would have been 2 points. So it was a little shy of 2 points. At the time we measured, it was 1463.80. Okay. This one, we're still waiting on results for, I guess. And that one, no trigger. This is a long on gold. Okay. Swing high was 1878.30. So that was $130 per contract traded. This one was $60 per contract traded. This was a stop out on the NQ. This was a long on the Russell, $340 per contract traded. Long on the Dow, $110 per contract traded. No trigger. On the NQ, $120 per contract traded. Russell, $160 per contract traded. Short on the Dow, $620 per contract traded. Short on the S&P, $275 per contract traded. A short on gold, $330 per contract traded. This one never triggered. There's a short on silver, $225 per contract traded. Gold short, $600 per contract. Crude oil short, $330 per contract traded. NQ short, $2,520 per contract traded. Had you taken that trade with one contract, that would have paid for half of a lifetime passport. Now, again, it's $97 a week until you save up enough money to actually buy the lifetime passport. It's that simple, okay? Short on the Russell, it dropped $1,890 per contract. The Dow, $1,500 per contract traded. Short on the S&P, $225 per contract traded. This is a short on silver, $75 per contract traded. A short on crude, $130 per contract traded. This is a long on the NQ, $450 per contract traded. Long on the Russell, $160 per contract. Long on the Dow, $160 per contract. S&P long, $87.50. Here was a short on the S&P, $112.50 per contract. This was a long on the NQ, $360 per contract. That's what the market made available. Long on the S&P, $200 per contract traded. A short on silver, $1,125 per contract traded. No trigger, no trigger. Here's a short on crude, $290 per contract traded. Here's a long on the NQ. And that was $120 per contract traded. Stop out on the Russell. And this is a long on the Dow. And I don't have the tabulation on that one. Or that one or that one. That was a no trigger. Here we got a short on silver, $125 per contract. No trigger, no trigger, no trigger. This was a short on the NQ, $170 per contract. Russell short, $80 per contract traded. Short on the Dow, $135 per contract traded. And last Sunday night, the very first trade that we issued in Logic 247, it was the first trade of week 112, $687.50 per contract traded. That's Logic. Now I gave you a screenshot of the Concierge. If you didn't grab a screenshot, here it is one more time, because we're going to walk through these, okay? All right, got a screenshot? Okay. So we're on the S&P chart. Last night's Concierge Trade Alert said to consider being long at 32.54. $32.54. And we got a swing high here so far, $32.60. This first one from $32.54. This first one ran up to $32.58, so that's 4 points at $50 a point. It's $200 per contract traded. We got back below the trigger, did the same thing again. So that's another $200 per contract traded. Okay. And then, so first trigger, second trigger. Now we're on the third trigger, which has traded up to $32.60 so far. And again, the alert was to buy $32.54. So that's a $300 per contract move so far. So we had, now pushing the Logic 247 aside, the Concierge, which is a different animal, said to buy 32.54, and we had 1, 2, 3, and we're on our 4th trigger off of one alert. Now, you'll notice that the Concierge are two-sided. There are days when the market will offer you two-sided action. They also said, if the opportunity presents itself, go short 32.30. This is why when those come out at the beginning of the session, you want to go put your lines in the sand. Okay. So selling 32.30. We dropped down to a swing low of 32.0650. So let's just call it, let's round it up to 32.07 for the simplicity of the math. 23, that's 23 S&P points at $50 a point. That's $1,150 per contract traded. Okay. That was here. Now, price did get back above the trigger, but the difference here, okay, the difference here on this trigger, remember I said that red and falling, okay, that represents resistance or bearishness, whereas blue and climbing represents support or bullishness. So had you shorted this trigger, you'd have been shorting right into potential support, and that's exactly what happened. So while we'd have been very happy to take this trade, and even this little guy dropped down to, this dropped 5 points, $250 per contract traded. So we had 2 nice short trades there. We had, what did I say, 4 long, but this one we would have avoided. This is why you always want to look at the chart. Don't trade it just because it's an alert. Go look at the chart, because market structure changes as the hours pass. You don't want to short into obvious support. And see what this obvious support did, this blue and climbing. Price always climbs the back of blue and climbing. Okay, and so this is still cooking. All right, now how high might we go? Well, we're already challenging these swing highs. In fact, we've traded above them. And then this is a potential obstacle up at 32.67. If we get through that area of resistance at 32.67, then there's 32.80 up ahead. And on every Concierge Trade Alert, on a long, the final trade to target is always the weekly zone overhead. On a short, it's the zone below. Doesn't always make it to the final trade to target, but as we just pointed out, this went from 32.30 to 32.07. So that's 13 points. I might have miscalculated that. 13 times 50, $650 per contract traded. I might have miscalculated that the first time. 32.30, 32.07. No, I didn't. It's 23. Do it right. 23 times 50. It's $1,150 per contract. I had it right the first time. Okay, so now we move on to the Dow. The alert for the Dow was to be long 26,830. 26,830. Okay, there's 26,830. He had a swing high at 67. So 30 points at $5 a point. That's $150 per contract traded. Then it got back below the trigger, gave you another $150 per contract. And now it's getting ready to trigger again. You're above the BBC. You got blue and climbing below you. All systems go. The short side of the Dow was 26655. Two, six, six, five. Come on. That's pretty close. Sell 2, 6, 6. 2, 6, 6, 5. All right. So from 655, we dropped to 530. That's 120 points. At $5 a point, that's $600 per contract traded. Now, price gets back above the trigger. Now, look where blue and climbing is. Okay. Once you get below the BBC, you can short that, but you have to keep this one on a short leash because you know that you're going to potentially run into support. Where? Right there at blue and climbing. And sure enough, pushed it right back up. Okay. All right. Next is the Russell. Now, please understand, I'm not cherry picking anything here. I'm showing you every alert that we issued last night, as I do every day, as we have done on this show every day for years. When you go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/CFRN, you can look at yesterday's show, scroll back a week, scroll back a month, scroll back a year. You'll see us using the same language, the same principle, the same indicators. We haven't changed anything in over 8 years because if it's not broke, there's no need to try to fix it. Okay. So Concierge Trade Alert on the Russell was to be short 1444. 1444. Okay, for 1444, we put in a swing low at 1428. We'll just call it, we'll round it up, call it 1430. So that's 14 points at $50 a point. 14 times 50, $700 per contract traded. The long side of the Russell on the Concierge was to be long 1458. Okay. And that happened right here. 1458 up to 1463. That's 5 points, $50 a point, $250 per contract traded. Then we got back below the trigger, and this little pop here was good from 1444 to 1460. Is that right? I'm sorry, 1458. That's the long side. 1458 to 59.80. So that's almost 2 points at $50 a point. That's almost 4 points. at $50 a point. And then we get back below the trigger and we make the run back up to 1463 again. Weekly trading zones, like a magnet. Okay. All right, let's go to the NQ. Okay. So last night's concierge alert for the NQ was to be short 108.48. So 108. Okay. And the swing low was 108.15. So 48 minus 15 is 33 points at $20 a point, $660 per contract traded. True story. The long side, consider being long 109.60. 109.60. By 109.60. Okay. And from 109.60, we put in a swing high at 11.032. So from 960 down to be 40 and 30. So it's 72 points at $20 a point. It's $1,400 per contract traded. The entry to the swing high. And well, actually we had this first one that popped up to 87. Okay, so that was a 27-point move at $20 a point. It's $540. And then we got back below the trigger and triggered again, and then that gave us the big money move, the big number it just gave. Okay, all right. What do we got left? Crude and gold and silver. Here's crude. The alert for crude was to be long 40.45. From 40.45 to 40.65, 20 points. Okay, you got blue and climbing, so that's good. That's what you want. This one, I wouldn't take this one because you're triggering right into red and falling. And even though it did reach up, in most cases, red and falling is going to drive it down. And it ultimately did, okay? So you had a beautiful little trade here. This one you'd want to avoid. And then the short side on crude, 39.80. 39.80. The swing low was 39.75. So that really would just result in a stop out. And then you got down to 39.71. That's $90 per contract traded. That might have ended up being a stop out as well. On gold, the alert last night for gold was to be long 1878, which the swing high was 79.20, so that's $120 per contract traded. The short side for gold was 1863. All right. From 1863, we dropped to 1855, 1856. So that's a $700 per contract move. Get back above the trigger, drop another $500. Get back above the trigger, drop $900. And on silver, pretty flat. The alert on silver was to be long, 2350, which we never quite made it to. And to be short, 2263, which happened right here. $22.63, swing low was 52. So we'll call it 10 points. $500 per contract traded. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay. So where are you in the world of trading? How long have you been at it? Have you bought a lot of stuff? Bought indicators, oscillators, hired gurus, sat in chat rooms and been abused, made fun of, humiliated? Maybe you traveled across the country, big old jet airliner, to listen to some magician, some Houdini in one of those conference rooms in Vegas, cast this spell over you for a couple days for $7 grand or more. I'm not making fun of you because we've all done it. We've all done it. We all know there's opportunity in the market. We just got to figure out how to get, what's obviously there. What's unfortunate is that most of the charlatan and hucksters out there never actually teach you how to trade. Because if they actually taught you how to trade, there goes their livelihood. Because they've not managed to learn how to trade. The way they feed themselves is by selling you stuff and more stuff. Then there's the better stuff. Then there's the platinum stuff. Then there's the out of this world stuff. And then there's never before seen on planet Earth stuff. And even the stuff you could only dream of. Come this weekend, your life will be forever changed. Can I get an amen? Dear Lord, he's going to be harsh on these people. When that day comes, I'm telling you, he's going to be harsh on those folks. But that's not my business. That's their business. You, on the other hand, you are my business. Because for whatever reason, you ended up in this room today at this broadcast. Maybe you've been a part of our family for a long time. That's why you're here. But if you're here for the first time, let me tell you, it's by no accident. We don't see walk-ins here. We only see divine appointments. And if you're here for the first time, maybe second time, third time, you, my friend, are here by divine appointment. Now, I'm not going to put my hand on your head and try to push you over and sprinkle holy water on you. That's not how we roll, okay? I am going to say that if you're tired of throwing away your money, if you actually want to learn how to build a profitable trading business from the ground up, starting in sim where you're not risking any money, and gradually learning how to trade, trading every day in the simulator and the demo account, putting to use everything we teach you in class until you've put together 10 consecutive days in a row, where you can then go live with just one contract. And from that point forward, okay, once you put up the money to trade that first contract, because you've put together your 10 consecutive days in sim, every contract you add going forward will be paid for with profit you earned in the market, if you follow the blueprint. because the blueprint won't let you add another contract unless you have profit available in your account to underwrite the next contract. Our goal is, well, you've heard the saying, okay? So give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, feed him for a lifetime. Okay, well, I don't know how good of a fisherman you are. I'm not the greatest. All the worms and stuff, I don't know. But I've done it. I'm a boy. I grew up in the country. I know how to get a cane pole, go down to the creek, catch fish. I can do that. So we understand that concept, and it's really a great way to sell stuff. But what we do, which is really different from what the other folks do, because you don't really know how long it's going to take you to learn how to trade, how to fish, do you? Or trade, right? How long is it going to take? I can't answer that question because each person is unique. So what we're going to do while you're learning how to do exactly what we do, we're just going to hinge these every day on a daily basis. So if you can open Telegram, read the alert, go to the chart, use the software to place the trade, guess what? You just might be a trader. In other words, you don't have to spend another 10 years at another $100,000 trying to figure out this whole market thing. For $97, you can become a CFRN, fully vested, bona fide passport holder today for 97 bucks a week. The first trade out of the gate last Sunday night, was worth $687.50 per contract traded. Now, when I say I want you trading in the simulator in the beginning, I'm serious about that. Otherwise, this is just going to become another horror story for you. If you're not willing to follow the plan, then just pass, okay? There's plenty of charlatans and hucksters out there that will gladly take your money under false pretenses. I don't want to do that. I want to actually help you learn how to trade. But I know you got to eat in the meantime. So, as quick as we can, we'll get those 10 consecutive days in a row done so that you can go live with one contract and start earning real money. 2 points in the S&P with one contract pays $100. Those same 2 points in the S&P with 10 contracts pays $1,000. Now at $1,000 a day, that puts you in the top 3% of all wage earners worldwide. I'm not telling you you're about to become rich, and I'm certainly not telling you you're about to become rich overnight. What I am telling you is that you have a group of people here who will be very honest with you, totally transparent with you, and will do everything within our power to help you be successful. As you know, many outfits, even some brokers today, don't even answer their phone. You get some kind of voicemail about, sorry, COVID, can't answer your call. And even when there's not COVID, you got to fill out a support ticket. Wait a minute. Are you kidding me? I'm stuck in a trade. You know, I'm hemorrhaging cash here. I need somebody to help me. Well, like I said, sir, fill out a support ticket. Well, by the time somebody somewhere around the world gets around to answering my support ticket, not only will I be out of money, this thing will have gone negative and I'll owe you money. Have you ever heard that saying? You can lose all of your money and then some? Yeah, that's a true story. We provide all of our clients support around the clock, 24/7. We monitor our client services channel around the clock. You can call us anytime during normal business hours. You can email us around the clock. You can call, if you're with the broker we use, you can call the trade desk anytime around the clock. If you're stuck at a trade and just need somebody to get you out of it, there's a guy for that. So the ball's in your court. What is it you want to do? What do you want out of life? Do you want easy money? You want to get rich quick? I don't know any way to do that. If I did, I guess I'd be there. But I know what a solid business opportunity is, and that's why I trade. And guess what? Teaching other people how to trade, that's an income stream. We're nice people, but don't be mistaken. We're not just doing this out of the goodness of our heart. Again, we're believers, and believers are supposed to help people. But when you become a part of the family, that's an income stream. It says in the Bible, a wise man should have multiple income streams. It actually says a wise man should have 7 income streams. Now, the greatest wisdom comes in when you can build your 7 income streams around something that you really know something about. I could go open an automobile repair shop, but I don't know a lot about fixing cars. I could do a lot of things that I don't know anything about. That seems like a hard way to go. So when you find an area of strength, like maybe you are good at working on cars, and every now and then somebody comes along and the bill to fix the cars so much, even though you're an honest mechanic, that they tell you, just keep that clunker. Oh, that's right. We traded all our clunkers in for cash. Never mind. Anyway, so you're a mechanic, you're good at what you do, you treat people fair. But sometimes the bill's just so great, people go, just keep that clunker. All right. So you just got a free car. So you fix it because you know how to do that. You park it out front. You put a sign on it for sale. Huh. Now you got 2 income streams, don't you? Based around something that you know something about. Now, when you sell a car, before people drive it off the lot, they have to have insurance. That little desk in the back that no one's ever used, you got just a bunch of junk piled on it, clean it off. Tell your niece to go get her insurance license. She can sit back there and write insurance. We got 3 income streams just because you know how to fix cars. Now, if somebody gets a car fixed, they certainly want it to look pretty and shiny and new, right? Maybe you're able to buy that little lot next door that you thought nobody would ever want because it's oddly configured and not easy to access without going through your property. So you get it real cheap. Boom, you throw up one of those $3 unlimited car wash deals. Whoa, what are we up to, 4 income streams? You see how I could keep going here? Oh, and some people want those fancy tires that spin round and round. Yeah, you could do that. Whatever it is that you're really good at, sit down with a pen and a piece of paper. See if you can't figure out 7 income streams. So again, Michael and I, we love to help people, and Valerie, right? We have built an incredible family here, but make no mistake, okay? This isn't some charity. We love you. We hope you'll be around a long time. But you're an income stream. And the longer you hang around, the more we get to know you and you get to know us. I have built so many wonderful relationships with people who have passed through here as students. It's really been an incredible and an amazing journey that we started way back in 2005. That's how long we've been at this. So, with all that said, let me move on to our good word for the day. Then you can go enjoy your weekend the way God intended. Now, our scripture today is 1 Timothy 6:12. Fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, to which you were also called. Here are 6 proven Bible strategies for defeating the enemy when he comes against you. And make no mistake, he's coming. Not trying to scare you, just giving you a heads up, okay? But I accepted Jesus. I pray. I go to church on Sunday. I help serve when we have special events. He's really coming for you. But fear not. You know, that's the most oft-repeated phrase in the Bible. Fear not. You think he was trying to get a message through to us? So, the enemy's coming for you. Deal with it. Here are 6 proven Bible strategies for defeating the enemy when he comes against you. Number 1, think boldly. Fight the good fight of faith, to which you are also called. Plan and calculate like a general preparing for battle. Study how to engage and defeat your enemy, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, you know, whatever your group calls it, whatever label you guys have hung on him. Now, we're not talking about a Halloween. We're not talking about horns and a forked tail and a little pitchfork. And you know, just as a side note, this is a freebie. But please don't dress your kid up like that. Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't, but just say it. Number 1, think boldly. Number 2, pray boldly. Hebrews 4:16. We are told to approach God's throne boldly. Now, if you were to go to see the president, whichever one it turns out to be, what would it feel? Imagine yourself walking into that Oval Office, okay? Would you be timid? Would you be doing backflips? Would you be doing the moonwalk? Chances are, most of us would not approach the big desk in the Oval Office boldly. But Scripture tells us in 4:16 that we as believers are supposed to do exactly that. We are told to approach God's throne boldly. Don't be bashful with God. He's your Abba. I don't mean the rock group from Sweden. By the way, that means daddy in Swedish. You're his redeemed child. So approach him with confidence and ask for what you need. Don't beat around the bush. Speak fearlessly. That's number 3. We're going to think boldly. We're going to pray boldly. We're going to speak fearlessly, not arrogant, not pompous, but without fear. Remember, he told us 1,000 times, fear not. The Apostle Peter writes in 1 Peter 4:11, speak as though God himself were speaking through you. In other words, use a commanding, authoritative tone when you resist the forces of evil. Ephesians 6:10 says, be strong in the Lord. Number 4, give generously. The level at which you give is the level at which you receive. You see what he did there? Wow. What a smart move on his part. As he's creating the universe, he knows ministry costs money. I know ministry costs money. You know. If for no other reason, they could have, because I've told you a bunch of times, ministry costs money. It's got to come from somewhere. So listen to this again. The level at which you give is also the level at which you receive. Now, I know all of you are faithful in your tithes and offerings. Not even going to question that. But on Sunday morning, when the plate comes around, or however it works at your church, if your hand grips that check a little tight, release it. Okay? Give freely and become more wealthy. Be stingy and lose everything. The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Proverbs 11:24. No offering is too small and none too great. Number 5, work intently. Bible says, whatever you put your hands to, do it with all your heart. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Don't approach your task with dread and a desire to escape. Stir yourself up in the Holy Spirit and get the job done. You might want to read 2 Timothy 1:6. So we're going to think boldly, pray boldly, speak fearlessly, give generously, work intently, and last, we're going to love unconditionally. As a follower of Christ, you must endeavor to love others as he loves them, unconditionally and sacrificially. And that's our good word for the day. Hope you have a great weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with his mercy and with his grace. And I'll see you at the bell.